So guys, this is a little Q&A we talked about, promised you in the beginning.
If you want to join in and into this Q&A, then you can just check our Instagram stories
Yes.
at the beginning of the week or in the beginning of every week, in which we will have this little Q&A sticker in our stories, and you can just ask questions on the topic of the week, and we will include those questions in our Q&A YouTube video.
Yes. So let's start with the first question. It was, I think, on your channel.
Yeah.
What is the main difference between man and woman? So just pick
from a recovery
standpoint. from a recovery
Yeah.
standpoint. Just pick a few things
Yeah.
you don't have to talk about.
In general, the female physiology is a tad different from males or from men, male athletes. So I think one of the important things to notice is that for females, directly after our training, we don't have the same, because females have a lower thermolytic capacity than male athletes. So that means that after exercise or hard training sessions, we have a harder time to cool down, which is why females also benefit from cold showers more than male athletes. So that is one of the number one things, and we're not as adapted or as adaptable to heat, especially when we're in the high hormone phase, which basically means we have a harder time or we take longer to cool down. Female athletes or women also experience a greater decrease in arterial blood pressure, which means that our blood flow isn't as good as in men. Which is why we as women, which is why a cool down is even more important for women than for men. I'm not saying you as a man can just skip the cool down, but for women it's especially important, because otherwise the blood pressure will just drop so low that the body has difficulties or loses its ability to get to the key nutrients it needs to recover. So for males, usually a lot easier to recover post-exercise than for females. And as a female, especially because of the different hormones that you have, you need to know what you're doing. I think for males it's a little bit easier to just go with it.
So shortly, if you don't focus on any kind of recovery method at all, and you had a hard training session, a woman has a harder time to recover from that session compared to a man.
As a woman you would probably lose more gains than a man if you don't focus on recovery, especially with that cool down part in terms of like active recovery, like stretching or 10 minutes on a treadmill at like 120 beats per minute, things like that, where you just really try to get your body to cool down and don't just abruptly finish your session without giving your body the time to adapt. And as a man, cool down is important, but your body will have an easier time to recover even if you have to skip it.
So as a female athlete, follow especially the 3 pillars and the add-ons she talked about, especially.
I think another thing is men don't tend to undereat. Women tend to undereat. And for a female athlete, as a recovery, or if you want to recover better because you want to have, or because you have performance goals, you need to eat carbohydrates and an adequate amount of protein after your meals.
After
your intense training or after your training. And I think for males this is just something they do, and a lot of females tend to not eat.
Just something small and tiny because they don't want to add on some more muscle mass and want to stay skinny and lean, and the thought process is different.
But they're actually like damaging the body more than
and their recovery process, because maybe if they are into the training, they have another training coming out the next day, and they just didn't recover the way they're supposed to, right?
So conclusion is females have a harder time to recover than males if they don't know what they're doing. So we also have another question, which is yoga considered a recovery, as active recovery?
So obviously there are different types of yoga. There can be some really, really intense yoga sessions, which obviously is a training itself. But as we think about small and light movement flows, stretching, being in a position which is not so demandable for the body, or which is not that hard when you hold a position, let's say 3, 4, 5 minutes, and it gets really, really hard and you have to really fight for it. Of course, that is not good for recovery, but as a light movement, as it is part of active recovery, light movement flows, stretches, also being in that cool down mode, in that active recovery, in that meditation mindset where you just feel and be aware of your body and do light stretches and movement flows. 100%. This is a part of and a good way to recover, right?
Is active recovery. You could even pair, like as you said, your yoga with some breathing, with some breath work, with some meditation.
Works good. Yeah, it works fine.
I think that is fine, but nothing like. Don't go and do like a really hard yoga session and think, oh, today I did recovery. I did like my, I don't know, hot yoga or something, because it's not beneficial.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a quick answer, right?
Yeah.
Quick and easy answer.
So I think our next one is can you recommend any books regarding like recovery, like sports recovery and training? And we'll put a couple of book recommendations that we've read ourselves in the description below. Yeah,
which really helps you to reread all the scientific stuff and
that we've just talked about.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a weird question coming up. Is recovery good for fat burning? So what's your thoughts on that?
So first of all, recovery is not about burning fat. Recovery, like when you recover from your previous training session, it is about getting your body into a state of adapting to the training that you've just endured. In the long term, I think because you're recovering and putting the stress factors out of the way in this case, you actually might experience more fat burn, but not because you're not doing anything, but because you're just giving your body the time it needs and the rest it needs, versus when you're one of those persons who think, okay, I'm doing this session now, and then in 2 hours I'm doing that, and then I'm going for a run, and I'm going for a walk, and you're just like spreading all kinds of activity throughout your day. Then you're putting your body under so much stress and pressure that there is no time for recovery. And when you put your body under stress, your hormone called cortisol, your stress hormone, will increase over the day versus decreasing.
Yes.
And you might store more fat in the long term.
And water, which increases in weight, right?
So, if you store a lot of belly fat, then you might want to look at your cortisol levels and your stress factors. So, in this case, yes, it could enhance your fat reduction, but it's nothing like you're not burning more calories or burning more fat by just sitting on the couch or doing active recovery.
But as you already said, keep in mind, if you really implement these recovery methods well, because a lot of people don't notice how much their body are stressed or is stressed, because it's so normal to be exposed from so much electronics, Wi-Fi, the traffic on the street, and then your kids, and you don't even realize sometimes how much your body is under stress. And only if you implement like meditation 30 minutes a day, breathing techniques, cold showers, even if you implement that, your stress level and your inflammation will go down, and you will lose 100% some weight, some fat, 100%.
Yeah, I think so too. Yes. I mean, obviously your training and your diet plays a factor and plays a role in that, but having a good balance between recovery, rest, your daily like your life and training is going to benefit or is going to be beneficial for that.
Cool.
So our last question for now is the efficiency of cold baths.
A really good one. You already told about cold water immersions.
Yeah,
right?
So we talked about that. Yeah.
And it is a really effective method, right?
Definitely.
And I think it's also a very efficient method, because it takes not a long time compared, let's say, to active recovery, a 1 hour jog, 1 hour light swim, or 1 hour walk. Compared to that, it's really efficient, time efficient, and it really does.
And it's something you do anyways because you have to shower after you work.
And it really does its job quite well. It's supported with a lot of scientific studies right now, not about how cold it should be or how long the perfect amount of cold water immersions are, but
I think you need to the difference is you need to look at the recovery, the impact on recovery, not necessarily your performance. So the impact on recovery is really good.
Yes.
And especially, as I said in the first question, females really benefit from cold showers directly after their training.
Yes, and it's not going to be better for your recovery, but also the cold water immersions increase your white blood cells, and that has a positive impact on your immune system. So you probably won't get ill that fast compared to if you don't do it. It's scientifically proven, right? From Wim Hof, from Wim Hof Method, the white blood cells gets increased, and your immune system will benefit a lot from it. So maybe that enhances your gains, but not really your recovery. Yes.
So, but it has benefits on recovery. Yeah, cool.
Maybe yes, slightly, because you maybe are not getting ill.
Oh, but I mean, like, cold showers are beneficial.
Yeah. They are efficient.
It sounded like you were saying, it probably doesn't have an impact.
No. I thought the white blood cells.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just no
the white
correlation.
Blood cells don't necessarily have an impact on recovery. Yes. The cold shower does.
Yes. Good.
Cool. I think so. We have 5 questions that we wanted to answer today.
Yeah.
Just to make it not too long.
Yes.
If you have any other questions, then drop them down in the comment section below.
Yes. Follow our Instagram channel. Yeah, if you want to take part of the next topic of the week, we're looking forward to that. Also, if you have problems finding a good mobility routine, if you want to increase your strength and performance, put you on a higher level, we are really happy. We are here for you, to help you, to guide you through this, to make you the best version of yourself, to create you to your best version of yourself. And just book your free call. The link is in the description below. Free call with one of us. We show you our method, and we guide you through our method to bring you on a higher level of performance and to get you stronger, more mobile. And we're really looking forward to hear from you, and see you in the next video.